Folks, welcome back to another oil change tutorial. I'm Whitty, your host. This is a 2011 Ford Expedition. The trim does not matter, as the only engine that was available in this is the most hated engine Ford ever made, according to the car community. It's the 5.4 Triton. This one's the 3-valve, so it's the worst of the worst, but you know what? I have no problem with it. So let's get to that oil change. If yours is jacked up, you might not need ramps, but mine's still at factory suspension, so I still need ramps. So we got the front of the vehicle there, and you just keep coming straight back to your oil pan. There's your drain plug. I'm assuming the 5.8 is for the size that they're telling you, which would make sense because in Freedom units, it's a 5/8. And it has 5.8 on the drain plug. But if you only have metric, you're going to go with a 16. So, we like Freedom units in this channel, so we're doing a 5/8. And when you're just about all drained out, go ahead and clean off the drain plug here. Before you do, check for any metal deposits to make sure that if your engine's eating itself away or not. Wipe off the surface where the plug goes. You're still going to get excess, but you can put the plug in, start threading it. And once you get it in there enough that it's not dripping out anymore, you can wipe off right beside and underneath it. And then start tightening her back down. There is a torque spec, I don't know what it is. Just tighten it down until it's nice and snug. You don't need to over torque this or over tighten it. Same with the oil filter. People overdo this and then it ruins it. So just nice and snug is good. All right, let's get to the oil filter. The front of the vehicle, look above the front cross member. There be your filter. A little more accessible than the truck model, I've found. So what I found is, this is the drain tray that all the oil's supposed to come out after you start loosening your filter. However, it does drop behind this drain pan. So you're gonna need to set your oil pan up above the spigot, that one. And then you're gonna have to also get it to where it's a little bit above the, where the filter would be, right above there. Just kind of hover it and then just make sure that it doesn't drop for leaks. Half the time it does use the spigot up here, but sometimes it does come over there. Just something to watch out for. So normally you have one of the rubber wrenches to get the filter off, unless you have the Ugga strength of Paul Bunyan to do it by hand. But one of these from Amazon, they're just an oil filter wrench. They're amazing. They works with a 3/8 drive, mine does. They come in, I think, a 1/2 inch as well. But these will size up to most filters. And I love this thing. It has helped me more times than I can count. So I'll show you how it works. Goes on there. And when you start to tighten down, it's hard to get a grip sometimes. That's the only gripe I have about this thing, is it should have like rubber tips so that it holds better. But you just tightens down as you loosen. And then it comes off. Just break it free, and now I can loosen it by hand. Whoa, there it is. Yep, oil went straight down, right at the back there. Didn't even hit this tray, because they didn't extend it long enough. There it is, just barely at the corner. So the oil filter you'll be using if you're going with Motorcraft brand is a FL 820S. So you're going to want to just go ahead and fill it up slightly, not all the way. Look at that delicious golden honey. Starts to top out there. Let that soak down into the pleatlets real quick. And once it's down, we'll do it again. This is just so you don't have a dry startup. Some people just throw them on. I like to soak the pleatlets. It's just your preference. But I think this gives it a better fighting chance instead of having this air pocket flow through the filter. You're gonna wanna just turn it on its side. We'll let those pleats soak up the excess oil that's in the center. You'll feel the filter get heavier as you go. We're gonna get a little bit of oil and let's do the O-ring real quick. Do this so that it gets a good mating surface and it seals to the motor. That way, you're not gonna have any issues. Make sure you take some paper towels or shop towels and just wipe off the excess from there too so that it's a nice clean surface. There we go. Gotta get the angle just right. Make sure you don't start threading it like that until you know you have it. I've done this so many oil changes in my life. I got a feel for it, and you'll know when you do it. You do not need a torque wrench or anything tool to do this. If you just tighten this by hand, and I can't turn it anymore. Just with my left hand, I'm right hand dominant. That should tell you enough. So it's on there. She ain't going anywhere. No leaks are gonna happen. It's sealed. So we're gonna get this cap off. Could have done this at the very beginning too. I apologize. Usually if you do that, it'll help it breathe better. We are gonna be doing 7 quarts of 5W20 today. The recommended is 6.98, so forgive me if you need to be that accurate, but go ahead and pour her in. That's the last of the quart from what we were using in the oil filter. And I always keep like a bag, you know, shopping bag from the grocery store, if you got one at the auto store with all your stuff. Just keep it, and you can throw all your towels and oil filter and everything else in there that is no longer good. Your dash, H cluster, and then you got your buttons. You're gonna need info, setup, and reset buttons over here. Set up twice, and then it goes to your oil life. It says we still have 46%. I always change every 5,000 on the dot. We're 40 miles from that 5,000, so we're gonna hold reset. Oil life is set to 100 now. So set up twice, hold reset until it switches on the oil life, and now we're good to go. We do have pressure there at the top, by the way. Always make sure that that comes on. Folks, thanks for joining me on another oil change tutorial. If I could speak, that'd be wonderful. If this video was helpful or you enjoyed it, please give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps out the channel and the business. And as always, we'll see you next time. God bless. Peace.